Good morning. Want to talk about number one, black women defending problematic BOK men, aka DDG, Tory, Chris, etc., etc. Want to talk about that and want to talk about why that's absolutely insane. Number two, I want to talk about Latto. I don't know if anybody saw the recent drama surrounding Latto with her body count lyrics or whatever, her, bragging on the fact that she hasn't engaged with a lot of men. Number three, I want to talk about black femicide and the fact that the collective of BOK men are not protectors. Number four, I want to talk about BOK women giving each other grace. And I think that more of that needs to be had. And there are a lot of BOK women that are not extending grace to other BOK women. So those are the topics that I want to talk about. Now I'll talk about number one, the sheer amount of BOK women that I've seen defending DDG and, talking about what a great, fantastic guy he is. How many BOK women I've seen defending Tory Lanez and talking about how he's an innocent black man, which isn't the case. Even if you thought that he didn't pew make the stallion, even his other charges are well deserved. And y'all are blowing my mind. And also the defense of Chris Brown as well, and him getting out of jail. It's crazy to me because if there were black women that were accused of half of these things or did half of these things, there's no way that they would be receiving defense from the black community. And it's crazy because even when a black woman is the victim, she's not defended by the collective of black men. However, even whether a black man is a victim, quote unquote victim, or a perpetrator, he still receives the same amount of support from black men and also from a nice sized portion of black women as well. And that to me is a disgrace because why are black women doing things that is not done for them? Why are they not staying on code? Because I promise you, BOK men stay on code. Whether a BOK man is right or wrong, whether he's victimized a BOK woman or not, there are the large portion, the collective of BOK men will go to the ends of the earth to defend him, wrong or right. However, BOK women do not have that same loyalty. And I'd like to talk about why that is, and how we can stop that from happening. The fact that I've seen so many black women quick to side with someone like DJ Academics and spout the things they've heard from him over a fellow black woman is crazy to me. It's like, what do you think the men that listen to DJ Academics, whatever, in their life support you as a black woman? Like, they wouldn't. Because the mere fact that they follow these men and listen to them shows you that they hate women. Like, not only do they hate women, they despise women, they look down on women, they can't be trusted. So why would you be out here defending a collective of men that dislike and despise you? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, number two, and anybody that wants to talk about this, all you have to do is just send me a request to get in the box and we could talk about it. But I'll say another thing that I find to be confusing is, now, for me personally, Latto, for a few different reasons, seems to come off a bit disingenuous sometimes. But for the life of me, I don't understand the controversy around her and her saying her little body count lyrics. Like, y'all let me know why that's a problem, because I'm confused. isn't the move to be made that women shouldn't want to allow a lot of men to have access? Frankly, I think you shouldn't allow any access at all if he's not your husband. But either beyond that, isn't the goal not to have men have access to you, and not through any type of purity reasons or stuff, just because engaging with men like that is already risky business? So I'm confused. Wouldn't that be a good message that she would be sending young girls, that they shouldn't allow a lot of men access to them? But I don't know. Y'all let me know. I don't understand why people are mad at her about it. Number 3, I wanted to talk about, once again, black femicide. And I think I'm going to talk about this more, frequently. Even though I've always talked about it, but I think I'm going to talk about it a lot more, because it's a huge, huge problem. Now, when we talk about black femicide, it's like there is almost a visceral reaction that BOK men have to it, to try to minimize it, or to make it seem like it's not a big deal, or either to make it seem like it's the women's fault that are being unalived. It's their fault. It's not the men's fault. I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about the fact that there aren't a lot of BOK men that are protectors in the community. So these things are able to happen with no repercussions, no consequence. Nor do they talk about these things publicly, or even say, hey, you know what, we got to talk about this issue of black femicide that's affecting our sisters. There's no discussion on it unless other black women may speak on it, but that's about it. You guys, I'm going to be quiet for a second. I'm going to see if I can get about, I don't know, at least a couple people in here in the box to talk about it. If not, I may just come back a little later today and then talk about it, because I don't want it to just be me talking. So we'll see. And see if we can get some more people to talk about this. Get some guests that want to talk about, number 1, BOK women who defend problematic men or problematic BOK men, such as Diddy, Tory Lanez, Chris Brown, Diddy, R. Kelly, Trey Songz. There's a lot. There's a lot. How you doing, sis?
I'm good, and you?
Pretty good.
Can you hear me? Good, and you?
Pretty good.
Can you hear me? Because I'm driving. I'm always driving, right? but but so yeah, I want to talk about number 1 most definitely. Because I think I was talking about it yesterday before I went to work. Like how I had an older woman, sitting in my chair, and she was speaking on, the Diddy case. She asked me had I been watching it or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I haven't watched it. I just kind of like read articles and different things like that, pop up or whatever. And then I like listen to, information that, people do say on TikTok, and I go and do my research or whatever, and then so she said, I just got this thing, and she did not start to say that she had this thing until it was like a man around. So like I'm thinking she's on the same side, about it, like he wrong, he's a monster, he needs to be locked up forever, and then once the man came around, then it's like her whole everything changed. Mind you, she's a married woman, of course, but it's just this thing that I think a lot of women have, where they feel like they have to side with black men to protect them. So she started to say, like, I just don't understand. She was like, because you got all of the YT men who've been doing the same thing, and they didn't say anything to the YT men, but they're putting BLK men on blast about the things that they do. And I know how old she is. She's in her 70s. My dad is in his, like, he's 60 something, 67. And he was alive at the point where he was alive at the point where he couldn't use certain restrooms and bathrooms. Black people didn't have rights, a lot of their rights. My dad was born around those times, and I know she's older than my dad. So that black people have never had the same, privilege that other races of people have. And so my opinion about this Diddy case and people defending him, especially women, is how can you defend him regardless of if he's a black man being attacked? At the end of the day, he's still a monster. So that's his fault for trying to, run in the same privilege of a YT person. He should have. You're still a monster regardless of the fact that racism still exists. You're still a monster. And I think that a lot of people have that in their minds, like there's an attack on black men, and like there's always been an attack on black men. And I'm like, but the fact that we're protecting black men is affecting how we're protected. Black men are so used to everybody protecting them that we're left out and we're unprotected. And when we try to stand up or speak on things, or if somebody, a black male tries to step in, of course we can't trust everybody, but at the point where there is somebody who is saying some things and speaking to other black men and speaking against it, it's like now he's a panderer as usual, or he's like going against the man code, and it's like I don't understand why black women feel like they have to continuously defend and protect just because they have money or just because they're being singled out. Like, at the end of the day, monsters should be singled out. And we know that those white men are monsters, but at the end of the day, we know that the system is not designed for black people. It's designed for them, so they'll get away with more than what, I'm saying, a black person is going to get away with. And I'll just land there.
Okay, all right, Kamichi. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I think, like, I hear that a lot too, where they'll be like, as far as Diddy goes, like, well, Diddy, what about all of the white men that have did this that aren't on trial? Okay, so what? That doesn't still absolve him from what he's doing. And this Negro knew that he was black when he was doing all the stuff that he was doing. So he should have been aware that if something happens, something you do get caught, the consequences for you are going to be a lot worse because you're black. So just because you're black and you're doing something and you may get caught, and some other white people, like people always like to mention Hugh Hefner and things like that. Okay, so what? He got away with whatever he was doing. You knew when you looked in that mirror that you was black. So deal with the consequences of your actions, and you still don't get absolved from it because you black. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, and they use this type of logic all the time, and even like, and I would say the comments that I saw from black women regarding Chris Brown when he got locked up, like, oh, that wasn't a big deal. It was a big deal what he did. He viciously beat up somebody. They said he caused grievous bodily harm, busted somebody upside the head with a bottle of Don Julio, and he received no consequences for it because he came to the States and was chilling. And y'all think that that's okay? It's like what happened? What would that happen to your dad, your brother, your nephew, your uncle, your cousin, your son? Crazy, crazy. And the fact is,
I didn't even know it went that far.
yes. And it's crazy because women are like, oh, I can't wait to see him dance. Oh, he's so fine and sexy. Like, ma'am, he would not spit on you if you were on fire. Okay, that's number one. And number two, why in the world would you find anybody attractive that has a track record of violence? And it's not just Rihanna, and it's not just Karuchi. He's still doing stuff and been doing stuff. So it's just like, what are y'all talking about? And he's attacked several men as well. It's like, what? And yes, and I don't even, for the life of me, I don't even understand why people think Chris Brown is attractive. Like, just like Carmel Mermaid said, he's very emaciated looking. You definitely know he's got a substance abuse problem. It's very clearly obvious in his face and in his frame. I have no idea why women like him so much, like, or think he's so attractive.
Yeah,
Weird.
I've never, like when he was younger, of course I was much younger, so he was healthier, he looked better. He was nice looking then, but like the older I've gotten, the older he's gotten and all of those things, I'm not really attracted to him. Like I see why women are attracted to him, but like you said, he looks sick to me. He does look like he's on drugs, like I can see it.
You
It's
gotta say, I
something
think
there.
substances. I think you gotta say substances that might get banned.
Substances. My bad.
That's okay.
F1 in the chat.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand where
But
you're coming
yes, I
from.
do. Yes, I do see that he, is on something. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm not really attracted, like as far as dancing is concerned, like to me, I like to see, other people dance. Like he wouldn't be like, he's not the person that I would choose. I'm just not a fan like that. I don't even own a Chris Brown album, none of that stuff. Like I don't even keep up with him. I just see what he does, and it just turns me off.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get what you're saying. Dirt Truth, did you have something to say, or was you just coming in the box?
No, all I was gonna say is I agree with what Special K was saying as far as I don't know why in our community we have to allow problematic men to roam around just because you say like white tea people do the same thing. Like if they want people in their community that's going to prey on those that are disenfranchised, that are weak, and allow them to do it. But that doesn't mean that we have to follow suit and do the same thing. Like we should be striving to make sure that those that are problematic are outside of the community and where they belong, so that way we can prosper and move forward.
Yep, I got you. I definitely agree. Oh, go ahead, Special K.
I was saying I definitely agree. Like I work with children also, and like I noticed that it starts out, at about, I don't know. I think it starts out at about 4 years old, because I have children who are problematic in my class that I work in, and they are always like the most popular, the boys that are clowns. They're always the most popular kid in the school or in the classroom, and I don't know if that's being like translated into adulthood, but it seems as though that is it. Like I just remember being in, elementary school and high school, the most popular person was the person who had the worst behavior. All the teachers, his name was always being called, at the end of the day. And I think that it's something that we do, I won't say we, but something as we do as a whole when we become adults. It doesn't matter how bad that person is, they just I don't know, they just love that person. I don't know if it's because they're charismatic or what it is, but the most problematic person is most of the time the person that people love the most. And they're usually one of the smartest people, in the classroom. So I don't know if that's what that is, but I don't know. I was just thinking about that.
Sorry, I had to mute myself. Yeah, definitely. I think that you made a good point. I don't know. I hope that one day, like, we are able to, as Black women, to, as a collective, of course, because I know this isn't all Black women, but hopefully that collectively we as Black women can stop this, like, deep seated need to, like, protect and defend, you know, be okay men if they are wrong. Like, I that to me is crazy. Like, I see it so often. And I think the worst part of it is that I know that it will never be reciprocated. And, like, look at what's happening to Megan Thee Stallion. She's a literal victim and no one cares. They're still finding some way to demonize her. So the fact that there are Black women going above and beyond to defend problematic Black men who would never do the same, who would never attempt to protect them, attempt to defend them, attempt to do anything, is, like, literally insane. I don't understand that. I don't understand doing something for someone and you know for a fact that not only would they not do it for you, but they don't care about you at all. They only care about you enough to think about how they can use you and take advantage. Like, it just, I don't know, it's literally insane to me. Like, I just can't fathom it. And it's like every time I see a Black woman do it, it, like, literally eats away, erodes at my soul. Because, like, I don't have any faith in the men, so I'm not surprised when, it's like this one guy that's pretty popular on TikTok that made this whole video about how if black women or women in general don't want to be accosted or bothered by men out in public, they should just stay at home all the time. That's a crazy thing to say. But like I said,
John Cannon.
y'all saw that. You saw that Special K?
I saw it. I saw it. It was crazy. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. like it's not just grown women who are in clubs that are getting SA'd. There are people and assaulted. There are people of, like, you're in church. Like, that's a good place to be. But but is people getting SA'd there? Is people getting assaulted there? um like going into a gas station, what, I'm supposed to just hide in the house under a rock or under my pillows? Like, oh no, I hope that no man sees me here. I'm like, and then he was talking about why change. He's like talking about not changing the environment, but adapting to the environment. And I still, for the life of me, don't understand why we would be okay with bad people continuing to be in the world rather than trying to. Aren't we supposed to fight for what's right? Aren't we supposed to, I don't know. I don't understand what he meant. It's crazy, but I did see it.
Yeah, he's like a woman hater and he's a weirdo because he's always talking about Black women. He's married to a white tea woman, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't even understand why Black woman's name stay in his mouth at all. He's such a weirdo. But I'm like, it's men like that would never defend or protect a BOK woman. Yet there are still BOK women that go above and beyond to defend men like that. Or to say,
You know he.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. And you know he has a YT woman, right? And kids by her, right?
Ugh.
That's who he's with.
Not surprising. I mean, like, he very much gives that vibe. He very much gives that vibe. And I've always been confused about Black men that are with whitey women that choose to constantly discuss Black women. Why are you not discussing the ladies that you are that you dedicated your life to, that you with. Why are you not discussing white tea women? Why? And it's all because these men are buck broken. Because why in the world aren't you discussing that? Like, why do you always still have black women's name in your mouth? You're not with one, so what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. It's very weird, but he definitely gives buck broken vibes for sure. I cannot stand him. I blocked him, and for some reason, I still see clips of this Negro. He really gets on my nerves. Like, he's so self-righteous and ignorant. You could tell he trash. Go ahead, Special K.
I'm just laughing, but he and somebody just busted him out. They said, and I'm not, you know, like a job is a job to me, you know, but he's a janitor too. So he's a janitor at a school, and also something else I just found out about him. I think he likes, of course, we see he likes to work out or whatever. So he's like you said, self-righteous. He thinks he's better. He thinks that he's more logical. You know, he has that ego, and I don't understand why. He's not attractive. Like, I don't see anything attractive about him. He looks like a bug. And then, you know, my thing is, there's this man. He's a G-man, I'll say it like that, and he's actually out there defending him. Like, I just literally, right before you got on the live, I literally just saw a video of a G-man, you know, from the other community, I'll say it like that. I just saw him defending him, and he was like rage baiting black women, and talking about, he's specifically talking to us, and still holding up, you know, his patriarchal views, and being very misogynistic. And I was just like, who was even talking to you? Like, how you even get a part of this? How did you become a part of this conversation? So now, not only are, you know, heterosexual black men attacking us, now the men from the other side, the other community, are attacking us as well, and we haven't even addressed them. They're like, well, y'all think that we can't protect y'all, so we just gonna leave you out there with the wolves. I'm just like, what do you, we weren't even talking to you. Like, who was even talking to you? We're talking about, you know, what Deontay Kyle said, and what John Cannon is saying, and you're defending John Cannon. That's crazy to me. So yeah, you'll have to go and look at that video, and maybe you can form your opinion about what he said. But it's like, are you serious? I just, like, what did us black women do to, you know, those men of another community? And so far, he's the only, you know, man of that community that is saying the things that he's saying.
Yeah, I'll tell you about John Cannon. The worst thing I think about, like, a person, especially people that make videos, is people that like are intellectually dishonest. Like, they make it seem as if they pretend that they're not biased, or they pretend that they're not trying to do what they're exactly trying to do, which is, he's trying to slander women. He believes women are less than. It's very clear that that's his thought and his opinion on things, but he tries to pretend that's not the time he's on. He tries to pretend that he doesn't dislike black women. When he does, he tries to act like, you know, he's this good, decent dude, which is clear that he is not. I think it's very upsetting, you know, that I just really, really genuinely hate men that just stand on what you said. Like, why do you have to hide that that's what you're on? And that's how I feel like they know that their behavior is not right. That's the reason why they have to hide. It's just like with red pill dudes, how all of the men will come up, right, and on my panels and stuff, and I'll be like, so it'll be like something about red pill, and they'll be like, oh no, I'm not red pill. I don't agree with most of that. It's a couple things, but I don't agree with the majority of it. I'm not red pill. What's red pill? I've never heard of anything like that. Because why are you hiding it? It's because you know deep down inside that stuff is not a healthy thing to view or believe in, but you choose to still do it, and you want to hide it a secret, or at least at the very least, you know how women perceive it. That women perceive it to mean that you don't respect women and that you don't believe women and that you degrade women. So it's just like, I just wish more of them would just be upfront in their belief systems so that women could proceed accordingly, or that they would be upfront with their belief system so women can, when you have a debate, we can go ahead and have a debate and we can go ahead and debunk your points. Because there's not a red pillar man alive that could debate me and not have all of his points debunked, because all of his points are rooted in the hatred and degradation of women, and of all races of women, not just black women. So it's like, I just don't understand the dishonesty. I don't. And I don't understand in 2025 women that wouldn't want to be, trapped at home, not being able to have a bank account, not being able to make their own money. All they were is barefoot and pregnant. They got 8 kids by the same man, not getting that much money, have no free time, nothing. I don't understand why men not getting that much money, have no free time, nothing. I don't understand why women are advocating for that type of lifestyle for women again. Like, why would you want that? Why would you even talk to men or defend men that encourage that type of mentality? It's just, I don't know, it's just real crazy. And as much as I say that there's issues with BOK men, there's issues with BOK women and self-hatred, internalized misogyny, internalized misogynoir, all of that Black women have got to unpack. Because it doesn't matter how much of a doormat you're willing to be for BOK men, they're still never going to respect you. And I would say that the odds are even higher of you being respected even less when you act like that, because it's no challenge for these men. So it's just like, yeah, it's just really, really weird and strange. Like, I just don't get it at all. You being a doormat is not going to work out for you, sis. It's not. And I think that there are a lot of women, Black women specifically, that feel like that's going to get them chosen. And I say this all the time: the men that you're going to attract being an aggressive pick-me are never going to be the man that you really want. Because they're always going to be men that already think women are less than. Because if a man didn't think women are less than, he would be disturbed by your pick-me behavior too. He'd be like, why are you saying that? Like, why are you doing that? Like, why, women are not, lower than men, stuff like that. So if you're a pick-me, I promise you, the man that you're going to attract is not going to be a man that's going to be long-term, or a man that you're going to, be happy with long-term. It's just not going to happen. So in the instance of all of this, protecting, problematic BOK men, protecting red pillars, making yourself a male-centered pick-me, all of these things, you're going to lose out at the end of the day. You're not going to win. But anyway, you guys, I'm on 30 minutes, and I was hoping that I could get some more people in here, you guys, to that disagree. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. And what is crazy, because I think I had broke through free with my shadow banning, but I like for a couple days, like I think it was about like a month ago, when I was getting like 150 viewers in here. But I think all of the weirdos, the dudes that were upset with me, that reported me all over again, I think whatever happened is they put me back into the shadow banning yet again. And it's very frustrating to do this on TikTok, because I don't understand. I legitimately don't understand how they're able to do that, how they're able to shadow ban me. And then I see other people that make the same type of lives, and I see them like still be able to get people. I don't know, man. I don't know how I
I
can.
know I know I looked, I gotta get my code real quick. But I know I looked on the outside one day when you were talking about it. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting for Special K to come back so I can hear what she's about to say. But after that, I'll probably wrap it up, and then I'll try to come back a little later. With I might do the same. I probably do the same topic again. Oh, go ahead, sis.
Okay. Yeah, so I was looking, they can like report, like I don't know if you had knew that, but you can report somebody's live and not actually be on their live. Like you can literally be reporting it. Like I was looking, like you were talking about it one day, and I said, let me stand on the outsides and look in. And I think that might be what's happening, is that they're like on the outside and just like reporting your live instead of coming in. Cause like you can literally, like sometimes when I'm driving, I can, my how it just switches to another video accidentally, I done touched it or swiped it or something. And I've been able to like be listening to other people's lives without even being on there. And I was wondering if that was how they're doing it. Cause something's got to be happening, because I don't understand it. I know you got a lot of women, who listen to you, but they're not seeing you. And I wonder if that's like part of the problem.
It might be. It might be. I wouldn't be surprised. I know for the life of me, I never understand what it is about me that makes men want to report me so badly when there are other women that say the same thing I say, or even way, 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 way worse. And I see their lives, they got 100 people in there, 200 people in there. And it makes me so mad because I always felt like being on TikTok, like I was like unfairly targeted on here, and I got way more slack than other people. And I didn't even got the followers or the subscribers that these other people have. And they just be able to just still keep going on. It just be like, wow, like, why do y'all, what is it about my voice that make y'all this mad? Because it's other women that's it's crazy. Yes, what to say?
Yeah, they be talking crazy on them other lives. I'd be like, do you hear how she's talking to these people? Like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And you literally, you try to keep people from cursing on your live. You try to, watch the words that you say, but it's because like you're not being performative. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not being performative. Even though those women are telling the truth a lot of times, and I'm not saying all the time. That's why I say a lot of times, because some of them are just pandering too, But at the end of the day, I think that it's because yes. There you go. Thank you. And thank you. You're welcome. Have a nice day. All right, you too. So I think that it's because they're like a lot of times being performative. I think your best times where I feel like you're never performative, but like there are moments where you are hilarious. It's when the guys come up on the live, and you either post their picture up there, or you roasting them, whatever the case may be. Those are like the moments where you really get a lot of views. So but I think that is why they're more performative. They're not being like fully honest within what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though they're telling the truth, but it's something there where you're like real, you're real, and they a lot of times are not. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what I see. That's the difference that I see, is that you're really trying to change the situation. You're really trying to change some things, in our community. You're looking for change, but I don't think those women are just trying to stay on live. They're just trying to, promote their lives. I think that maybe that's what it is. Like, you're trying to make change, and they're just trying to, like, even though they want change, but they want those lives, and they want to keep that life alive. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but yeah. If you understand what I'm saying.
Oh no, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, because sometimes, I will say this, like, even when I feel like I'm shadow banned and, like it's not a lot of people in here or whatever, I notice that, like, if it's a man that comes up, and he starts getting crazy, and then, like, I start going back and forth with him, like, I'll look up and it'll be like 20 more people in here or 30 more people in here. And that's fine. I don't mind entertaining people and roasting the dudes and stuff like that, because it's not like I don't enjoy doing that. But it's like, at the end of the day, I don't want to make it like a circus, or where I always got like dudes up here disrespecting the ladies up here, or disrespecting ladies up here, or disrespecting me, or just disrespecting black women in general. I just feel like once it gets to a point to where I feel like it's about to get super crazy, I just go ahead and delete, and I go ahead and block them. You know what I'm saying? Drop them and block them, because at the end of the day, I'm not finna go back and forth with you. You're not about to be calling me all type of black bees and all type of things like that, because we're online, so you can say whatever you want to say, really, without no consequence. And it's like, I'm not about to go back and forth with you like that, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like, because half the things you say, you wouldn't say in my face. You know what I'm saying? So I just end up blocking them, because it's just so I don't know. I just feel like they be beneath any of the women that are in the live, on the live, chatting in the live. So it's just like, I only have so much, time and patience to go back and forth with them. And then, not to mention, they don't have the intellect to even have the conversation. Half the time, you can tell they don't have no vocabulary. They don't have any vocabulary. They're talking slow. They're talking like the last time they read a book was in kindergarten. So it's just like, what, there's only so much I can do in having a conversation. I think is really, I can't even remember the time that I had like a real debate with a man that did not agree with what I had to say, that was actually intelligent and spoke from a place of knowledge about anything. Like, I don't think that it's happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least not that I can recall. So it's just like, what's really good? What's really good? Yeah.
Like, how are they going to defend? I don't think you'll ever have a real intelligent conversation, because the ideology that society has, created for men is just dumb anyways. You know what I'm saying? So it'll never be intellectual. Like, I can't even see how are they going to defend the patriarchy? How are they going to defend it to, or any of it, misogyny? How are they going to defend it, in a smart way, like, where it's going to, I wouldn't even be able to, how I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And you know what? Because I was watching this live. This was probably like a month or two ago, and it was like married black women, but the married black women that like to hold their man over a single woman's head to try to like flex on them, and I think that's disgusting. So it was like those type of pick me, male centered women, and then it was like single black women on there, and they were talking about how the problems with like black men in the black community, and then the pick me women were saying like, it's basically like it's basically not a problem with black men, it's really black women that's the problem. And they was going back and forth, you know what I'm saying, with each other, calling each other B's and 304s and and I mean at the top of their lungs, attacking each other's looks. And there was like 800 people in there. And I was like, bro, like if this is what it takes to get like a lot of people, I'm not prepared to do it. You know, because I had a live, I wouldn't even allow the black women to get to that point. Cause I'd be like, hey man, you know, y'all can't be doing that. Like we can't degrade ourselves and degrade each other because we don't know who's. Not that it would be matter if nobody was watching, but definitely not for people's entertainment. So people get to see us tear each other up, and then everybody get to say, oh yeah, look at them black women. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Look at how they don't get along with each other. Look at how they don't like each other. Like me personally, I know that I could probably get more views if I did stuff like that, but I don't want to. I don't want to, because I just feel like if I'm saying that black women need to stick together and I'm trying to pour into black women and love on black women, me bringing black women up to do that, I feel like is not the move to make. And I really try not to. And it's like, you know, I remember when T Scorpio, right? I had I had went back and forth with this lady. I mentioned her before. Her name is The Real Jane. And you know, she was definitely a very popular pick-me here on TikTok or whatever. She was the lady that was always outside, like holding the signs that men need love, men need protection, and all this other BS and stuff like that. And I already knew that she was a goofy, right? A goofy and a pick-me, always talking about what women need to do to get a man and how women need to change to get a man and all of this other BS, and still didn't have no man. So you over there on your hands and knees trying to be the boss level pick-me lady, and you still can't even get a man, right? So she had went and where she was saying like, oh, she realized that being a pick-me, you know, was not the way to go or whatever, and I don't even feel like she realized a pick-me is not the way to go. I think she still is a pick-me. I just think that she's very performative, and she was trying to make this big show to black men that she no longer cared because they wasn't interested in her, and she was hoping that would get them to be interested, her disinterest, and they still weren't paying attention to her. But anyway, nonetheless, I went on this lady's live one time when she was in the super throes of being a pick-me, and I was trying to like just talk to her and let her know that the way that she was going was not the right way. I never disrespected her or nothing. This lady goes on and tells me about how she can take my man, she can take my husband, saying all this stuff. And I was like, she was making me mad because it wasn't that I thought that she could
Which
do
she
that or
cannot
anything.
do.
But what'd you say, babe?
I said which she cannot do.
Oh, but she was saying it, and it was just, I feel like she was trying to embarrass me, like on her live stream. So once she started getting real buck with me, I found myself getting mad, and I went back and forth with her a little bit. But once she kept getting louder and louder, I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I realized that I got to exit the live. I can't go back and forth with her, because if I do, then I'm doing the exact same thing that I said that we shouldn't be doing. Like, which is going back and forth with each other to that degree. And it's not that we can't have a debate, or that we can't, you know, sometimes have words for each other, have a debate, or that we can't, you know, sometimes have words for each other. But just in the way that it was being with me and her, I was like, bro, I gotta back away from this, you know? And there was so many people that was watching at that time. So that let me know, yeah, people definitely want to hear, they want to hear the mess. They want to see the mess. You know what I'm saying? They want to see black women going at each other and calling each other names and being disrespectful. But I know that probably could give me some money or get me some clout on TikTok, but I just refuse to do it. Like, I just can't do it. I just refuse to do it because it just goes against everything that I'm trying to do. You know?
I actually remember that live because I saw you in there and I was like, oh, okay. She's debating with somebody, and that she was just really trying to set you up because what she was going to end up doing is bringing a whole bunch of she's going to bring a whole bunch of problematic men in there, and they were going to be talking crazy. You know, I saw it coming, and then when you left, she continued to talk crazy. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I just remember she still was talking crazy. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. And of course now her temperature has changed. Again, she's talking, you know, about how men are treating her and all this different stuff. So it's just, yeah, I remember her though. Yeah, I had blocked her. I haven't seen any of her videos. But yeah, she was crazy. She was crazy. She was just trying to get attention.
And what's crazy is that I don't even think that lady has changed because I know I saw her because I was on my other account. I saw this lady and Janine, just a girl, live, and they was all in there talking about how, like, if you're a black woman and you're single, like you're a problem. You know, you're problematic, and it's because you're not a good woman, and you know you have to figure out how you can improve yourself to get a man in your life because you basically can't you basically can't be happy without having a man. And I feel like it's insane for anybody to even believe Janine, just a girl, when she say things like that. If you know what her husband look like, her husband looks like a literal Keebler elf with no teeth. Like, I really, with bad, disgusting, rotted out teeth. It's like, are you kidding me? So that's exactly what you want black women to be having? A Keebler elf man? Like a horror story? A character off of Wrong Turn, the horror movie? Like what? Like so I don't really believe that she has changed, because if she really changed, there's no way in the world that she could keep company with somebody like just a girl. Like, there's no way she could. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that Janine, just a girl, say out her mouth is crazy. I know I saw some clip that somebody stitched to that lady saying, she was like, yeah, black women are fat, black, and masculine. And I'm like, ma'am, are you crazy? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you are literally, you know what I'm saying things that white supremacists and black men who hate black women say. What is wrong with you, ma'am? Are you crazy? Are you that desperately in need of male validation? And got the nerve to say she's mentoring youth and young black girls. Anybody that let that lady mentor their daughter is a psychopath. Your daughter about to be getting dogged out, used and abused by a whole bunch of black men because she's going to feel like her only worth and her only value is in how many men like her or will entertain her. She will have no value of her own as a woman that she can stand on her own. So it's like, bro, anybody that will let that lady, you should let that lady mentor a hamster, let alone an impressionable young black girl or young black woman. Like, no, no. But yeah, I mean, it's like all of those type of things, like, I just can't do. Like, when I would see, like how it was like I would see Janine, just a girl, right? Her videos would be going up, and I would see her follower count going up, and I'll just be like, dang, bro. Like, that's what it is. That's what I gotta do. I either gotta be a pick-me black woman to get like a large following. You know what I'm saying? And then I would see like pandering black men that I know for a fact don't care about black women. For real, for real. When I would see their numbers like explode, like, I would be like, are you kidding me? Like, black women talk all of this stuff about us needing to stick together, and y'all still are blowing up black men's platforms more than black women, when all they do is say what they heard from black women because they don't experience it. They don't know. They don't know how it feels to be a black woman. And some of them don't even have black wives. So they don't even have the experience of talking to their wife to find out what's going on. So it's like, oh, okay. All right. Wow. Wow. And like, those times would be times when I'll just be like, bro, am I doing the right thing? Like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? You know? But I still feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I just realized that what's the thing that people say? Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is a thief of joy. So I would just say, like, my journey is my journey, and my journey cannot be compared to nobody else's. And sometimes when you say things that are a certain type of way, you may not get the following that somebody else do. You just have to walk in your own truth and do what you do and ignore everybody else. So that's I just kind of just started doing that more. Did you have something to say, Dark Truth? Or Kamisha?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man, we all know some people like to just live in delusion, and they like dysfunction. So they more apt to congregate to those type of environments because it appeals to them, and you often give everybody what is considered the cold hard truth and a big dose of reality of what the world really is like and how people ought to really navigate it. And a lot of them just they have an aversion to that, so they try to walk away from it or try not to hear it. And when it comes to a lot of the Jews, they come in here ill prepared. They don't know all the information that they supposed to know. They don't know what's really fact and what's fiction. And so when you hit them with facts, they ain't got nothing to do but to run away. And most of them probably got you on the do not approach list, warning, she will eat you up. Don't go over there. And that's why they probably don't show up as much.
Yeah, all right, all right. They should, because I will. You have something to say, Special K?
I definitely agree with that. I think that is exactly why they don't come on your live. They don't come on your live because they're scared. And they know that they're not smart. So you're all you're gonna end up doing is catching them in their lies and catching them, in their problematic behavior. And they don't want to face that at the end of the day.
Sorry, you guys. Just 1 second. Just give me 1 second, you guys. Uh, gotta add up here. T Scorpio. Hey T, how you doing? You had something to say?
Hello? Oh, my bad. No, because I was waiting for my headphones to connect. Good morning, everyone. Um, so dang, I don't see the prompt. Okay, so women who defend black women. Oh, yeah, we have a lot of those defending problematic behavior. Hey, villain. We have a lot of that in the community that believe that men cannot do no wrong, and everything that they have done, everything that they do is always some type of excuse. Women are usually in their eyes the evil one, the bad one, the one that put ourselves in this position, and they love the validation of men, even if it's men that's not even theirs, and it's other women's men. That's why when you mention about our girl, and it's so funny how I did try to give her grace, like even though what she did was extremely distasteful, I was hoping that she would at least apologize. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying y'all could have been friends and been skipping down the road together, but at least that would have showed trying to show like she have evolved mentally and emotionally, that she realized, you know what, that was uncouth what I did. That was so rude, that was disrespectful. I had no right saying that to her. And she never did. And in fact blocking you really showed me like the lack of like sisterhood in her, how it's not even an inch in her. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not above apologizing to another sister, especially if I'm in the wrong. Now if I'm not in the wrong, I ain't gonna hold you. I will probably get like a little bit like, I don't know, depending on the severity of the disrespect. But I usually do try to give black women grace as much as I can, because I understand logically we all have been there. We all have been bamboozled with the idea of black love or just being good to a black man. Because when we talk about being hoodwinked and loving black men, that don't mean in a relationship, in a relationship dynamic, like a girlfriend boyfriend dynamic. We was told that we should love black men, our cousin, like basically as family, and that's why we have to stick by their side and help them. Even I was caught up with that. Remember, I used to roll with the conscious community, so I did believe that at one point. Even though of course there was a limit to that, of course. But of course, I feel like, when it comes to giving grace to black women, I would want a black woman to give me, like, give me grace and everything. So that's why I try to do with other black women. That's why when it comes to like me talking about like my marriage and everything, and I try to bring up like a legal like clauses in the marriages so the women can know to be on game, because this is information I could have kept to myself. And I'm not saying like I'm holier than thou because I'm telling y'all like the clauses or anything, but I felt like that was my way of giving back to black women, teaching them the legalities of marriage, teaching them things that no one is not telling them, so this way they don't get caught up and get bamboozled financially and be left in a deficit. Like how when I'm listening to on and off, I'm hearing information about the wife in Turkey Hut up in Texas. And I've been to Texas a couple of times, and that's the number one restaurant I love going to. I even met her, shook her hand. I'm not sure if I got a picture of her, whatever the case may be. I think my other friends have the picture of us and everything. I think my phone, something was going on, whatever. Point is, yeah, she seemed like she was a nice woman. She was telling us her story, how hard she worked to get to where she's at. And to hear these like rumors that her husband's trying to take her for everything she got. And I just said to myself, like, I wish she had a business clause in there that so it could prevent that man from trying to take what was rightfully belonged to her. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no doubt in my mind she put in most of the work. And I hate to say it like that, not to be biased, but I'm sorry, it's some type of correlation with that. Like every time when a black woman specifically, go into business with her counterpart, she's always doing the most of the work. So it's no doubt in my mind she did like about 90% of everything, and then he's still trying to take everything for what she has. So yeah, I felt like that was something like when I hear stories like that, and it prompts me to try to help women out. You know what I'm saying. So and it seems like when it comes to these pick me women, they don't want women to be helped. And that's the part that I find strange. Like, why do y'all dislike the idea of us stepping forward trying to help other women? Especially when it comes to the so called word vetting men, when it comes to vetting men. And we're trying to put women on game to recognize what red flags are and, to understand what is a narcissist and understand what are not normal behaviors coming from a man that claims that he loves you, and how not to get hoodwinked, and not to get manipulated so easily. So I don't understand what is the what pick means be upset about that. They always talking about, oh, women got to learn how to choose better. Okay, so we gonna step up, and we even sacrificing our humility by telling other women our stories, so this way you can learn from it and never be in that position. But here comes some pick me saying, well, like that was this and then and that was your fault. That was all on you because of what my man. Well, I don't believe that any of these pick me's in a happy, healthy relationships. I'm sorry, I don't know what it is, but I never came across a pick me that was actually happy. In a relationship, in a happy, healthy relationship. They always in a relationship with a man is dragging them all the time. Like I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Someone can prove me wrong. Y'all feel free to prove me wrong. I've never seen that before. And I land.
All right, all right, all right. T, I mean, I definitely agree with everything that you were saying. And I saw the turkey leg lady story, and it really is it's sad. It's sad because she had built so much, built a legacy, only to have it ripped away because of her, jailbird husband that was cheating on her at that. Let me go over here to Supervillain. Hey, Supervillain.
Hey Trig, hey family. I want to piggyback off what T just said and then address the prop. But I also want to go back to something you were saying earlier, if that's okay. I will be super quick. So T definitely asks, have you ever seen a happy pick me? And I just had this conversation with one of my elder Black women empowerment mentors. And the thing with pick me's, and which is I just found out to understand, is our happiness is not going to be the same thing. Pygmies are actually happy in subjugation. They feel like that's where they belong. They do believe that men are the over empowering super being. So they don't mind taking servitude or being second class citizens to them. And that's one thing I think is a basic understanding. That's their happiness. They're happy to be second class citizens. They do not enjoy autonomy. They thrive in hyper interdependency. So we're definitely where we see them being, I guess, subjugated or struggling or just being servitude to a man. They actually enjoy it. They like it. Like it's something that they feel is supposed to, like that's how the world is supposed to be. It's supposed to happen. And this is something I'm just finding out, and it's making me understand pick-me-ism a little bit more. Not that I'm trying to investigate it, but when I was told that, I could kind of clicked for me, because I know we sit down and think, well, why would you go against your own interests? Why would you do this? Why would you be against women and children? Because they feel like the man is the supreme being. That's where he belongs, and anything after that, however it falls, is how it goes. So I just want to throw that out there because I know that whole pick me thing is definitely strange, very strange. Earlier, Trig, you mentioned about like just your platform being bigger, and I think you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. I really believe you're doing Mother Nature's work. And again, it ties into pick meism and just internal misogyny. You have not said anything a panderer has not said, but it is because they are male that other women are going to take the man's word over yours. A lot of us is in this. I'm gonna be honest, I'm having an issue with calling it feminist space, so I'm just calling it Black women empowerment space, even though other women who are non-Black are in the space as well. But a lot of us are quote unquote decentering men, but we're really not. This place is, I'm almost feeling like this place is a holding spot or like a lobby until they get them a good man and then they go on. Not that you can't have a good man and still be a feminist or a Black woman empowerment, but oftentimes it feels like the people that are in this area, especially the ones who don't have a man, are just here until they find that one and then they're going to go on about their business. They're not even going to worry about the space anymore. So I say that to say that's why your platform, I feel, isn't as big as it should be. Because over here, we say the hard truths. We hold ourselves accountable, as well as one thing I always say when I go to other platforms. Trey, you don't let no sly stuff happen over here. You are a sharp pewer. It's not going to go down here. In other spaces, they want to sit down. They want to explain, they want to investigate these men's degeneracy. You don't let it go down over here. And that's a big thing. People, when they come in here, they see that. They want to sit here and educate men out of their misogyny. It doesn't go on over here. So when they don't have that opportunity, because let's be for real, a lot of these women just want proximity to men. I'm just going to be honest. That's the hard truth. When that doesn't go down over here, that's why the numbers aren't like other people, because you're not saying anything different. If anything, I think you say it more intelligently. And the fact that you have a husband that's good to you, you would think everybody would be over here because that's what they want. But for some reason, the math isn't mathing. I don't know why on that part, but I could definitely say the accountability over here, the telling the hard truths, and the not letting these men get away with misogyny and degeneracy over here is a big reason why the numbers are where they are. Because let's be for real, we come on TikTok for the shit show. We come on TikTok. A lot of these women, they come on here to tell their story, but they want to be abused. I know that sounds terrible, but I'm starting to look at it like that's really what it's about, because there are places where you can avoid, but these same women, I'm finding them in some very problematic spaces all the time. It's different when it's once in a while, but all the time, come on. Especially with that big thing that happened with the last two male content creators. You would think the grift would be over here. But no, they're just going to look for another male content creator so they can do the overt pickmeism that they truly want to do. So I just want to throw that out there. You're doing what you're supposed to do. The people who need to be here will be here and spread the message. I do believe that you deserve to be a lot bigger, but life's not fair. I learned that lesson a long time ago, and I'm just keep rolling on the punches. Listen, if I'm the last person listening to you, you always have one listener, and you can always guarantee that when it comes to me. I did want to say something about the number 3 specifically, because I know I've been rambling, so the next person can go spin the block. I said this yesterday. We were speaking briefly about it, but the black femicide rate, the numbers are unbelievable. But what's more unbelievable is that people in our own community do not believe it. And the part that's hard is that we come on this app every day. We're in these panels. We know somebody who's been harmed by a fellow black male, or just a black woman who has been harmed or unalived. We all have a story. And then when we say the rates, when we say the numbers, and remember, it's not just numbers on a piece of paper. These are actual people in real life, like somebody's sister, aunt, cousin, friend, mom, daughter. People do not believe the numbers. But then 2 seconds from now, a nigma's going to come on this panel and be insulting and threaten a black woman's life, and we're going to roll with the punches like it's an everyday thing. We are so immune to being threatened with unalivement and abuse, but then when the numbers come in, we don't believe it. That's the part I don't understand that clicks, but I just wanted to just make sure I throw that point out. So next time we have this conversation, we can really think about what we're actually talking about. We're not talking about numbers on the paper. We're talking about real lives that have been gone or hurt or harmed. I'm going to yield there. Thank you.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I appreciate you, super
Can I
villain.
say something real quick?
Oh yeah. Go ahead, T.
Oh, okay. So one of the things I did, like, I love that everything that Supervillain said, and I also want to piggyback off of her, like, and I'm in big agreement with that, saying that the people that's supposed to be there, supposed to be here, are supposed to be here. I mean, I don't look at it as it being unfortunate necessarily that it's not a lot of women that's going to listen to us and take our advice and everything, because at the end of the day, not everybody's supposed to be saved, and I know how that sounds. One of the things that I even realize, even about, like, my fellow women, is that some of them don't want to be saved. Some of them are fine right where they at. There are certain things that they refuse to see, because, I'm not going to insult my intelligence by assuming that they don't understand or they don't see what I see, because I know folks are not dumb. Folks are not that naive not to see everything that's in their face. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to insult my intelligence by assuming those women are not as smart as me, or even smarter than me. Because going into these spaces, listening to these women, these are intelligent women. But when it comes to certain conversation, it's like they purposely try to deflect and ignore exactly what is being said, even though what we're saying is an absolute fact. So with that being said, like I said, like me and Supervillain be talking on the back end all the time, that like there are certain spaces that we're not exactly filling and everything, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, people have their own views, they have their own belief, even though it's very contradictory, but what can you say? What can you do? Those who will be saved. Even in you looking in the Bible, even if you want to go in a biblical point of view and a Christianity point of view, they said not only 3/4 of people are going to be saved anyways. So I look at it like that. Like, look at it on that point of view. Now everybody was meant to be on this train of consciousness, because that means you really gotta open up your eyes and see things for what it is. And sometimes it's not a pretty reality for a lot of people. It's not the reality that they want to face. It's not the reality that they want, you know? So, with that being said, you know, I mean, I'm happy at the spaces that I go to. Like, you know, I will still always go and support, and I will always still listen and observe and give my honest opinion if it's asked for. I don't believe in giving unsolicited advice or an opinion that nobody asked for. You know, if they ask me, yo, T, what do you think about this? Okay, well, get ready. I'm going to say something you don't like, you know? So, when I seen, just real quick, I seen the prompt on someone's live, a dude's live, and he said that if feminism help women vet men. And me speaking as, like, you know, by default as a feminist, I will honestly kind of say no. Yes and no at the same time. Because yes, they'll tell, like, you know, it's told to stay away from a certain type of man, but also on the flip side, there's always particular type of men that they do not warn our fellow sisters about. You know, like, just like when Supervillain mentioned about the huge two male creators. Now you would think that at least one of them, as bold as he was to curse out the women in his audience, curse out the black women in his audience, that they would be smart enough to go, you know what? We're gonna leave you to rot. We're gonna leave you right where you at. Come on, sisters, let's leave. That's just abandon him. We're not gonna give him no support. Thank you for showing your true colors. You only gotta show us that one time. We're gonna lead by example. Deuces. But they didn't do that. But they didn't do that. So how can we sit up here and talk about our so-called feminist sisters are good at vetting men when you are still when you are still currently frequent going to a man's panel that displayed all of those toxic narcissistic behavior on his platform? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I would say no, y'all don't really know how to vet men. And don't let me go there about a different type of man, like, you know, like a bent wrist that y'all think is safe men. Y'all don't know how to vet men. You know, so I'm gonna keep it a buck as that. If I'm gonna be honest on, you know, if I'm gonna be honest, but you know, I'm gonna leave it alone. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
All right, T. Okay, we go up here to Yaya.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good. So I just wanted to piggyback off of what the two ladies down there said, because I've been doing like research with ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT if black women would have walked away from black men, what would have happened?
Uh, oh, I think she might have got a phone call. Okay, you there? Okay.
Oh, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, if black women would have walked away from black men, it would have changed the dynamic within the black community, and it would have definitely made us look into the misogynistic woes of the community, and we would have been able to be protected better. We would have focused on our own issues. The movements like Black Lives Matter movement would have died. It would have weakened. We wouldn't be on the front lines, and we wouldn't really have the pick-me's, the women who want to be, you know, in black men's faces and only care about what black men say. We would be in a whole different dynamic within the community. But black women refuse to see how black men have been treasonous against us, how they have disrespected us, how they have put other women on pedestals over us, and we continue to still give them the amount of respect that was never given to us. And even ChatGPT has said that if black women would have respected ourselves more and we would have loved ourselves more, we would be in a better position. We would have the upper hand in the community, and black men's visions, black men's, you know, ideologies would fall on deaf ears. They would basically be muted because they would have no say so in what happens in our community, as we have been proven to be the leaders in the community over black men. So it's just interesting that a lot of black women, and I know it's hard to see how we can continue to birth men that hate us, but it's something that we need to see in order for us to survive and in order for us, our younger girls, to survive in the future. We have to see that these men do not care about us, they do not like us, they do not love us, and they will continue to disrespect us because they hate themselves, they hate their mothers, they hate the trauma that they've been through, and they hate a system that they know they will never ever win in. And so they take that out on Black women, but Black women, you continue to birth them, and you're birthing your oppressor, you're birthing the main person on this planet that hates you, and it's because they know that you're birthing them into a system that they will never win in. And so when Black women start to see that, I know it hurts, and I know that we don't want to see like, oh, our men hate us, but it's a reality of a system that we were born into, and that we have to see. We have to take the blue pill or the red pill to see the matrix and what we're living in. We have to see the reality of what we're living in. That way we could be better, we could do better for our community and for our future Black women and girls.
Yeah. I was wondering, did you see the live stream that Cynthia G had on that? Because I watched Cynthia G video and she was talking about that same thing about Chat GBT and what Black women, could have did to improve their circumstances in the Black community.
No, I don't even watch
Yeah,
Cynthia
like
G.
Cynthia G, she got a whole. It's crazy. I just saw that she had the video like a couple days ago that she uploaded, and it was about
Is she on
like
YouTube?
what. Yeah, she's on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's about like what Black men, like, if what things Black women could have done to like improve the situations in the state between Black men and Black women. How could they have improved it?
Oh
And
wow.
she was like listening to things that Chat GPT had told her, because she often talks about how she goes back and forth with Chat GPT about things. Now
Yeah.
I felt like when I was watching her video where she was naming the things, I did feel like a lot of the things that she was mentioning could have actually really helped. And I think that they could help now. Like she was talking about how, like, Black women should, if they are interested, like, because at the end of the day, there are going to be some women that want to be in relationships with men,
Right.
and she was talking about how the men that are poor performers that cannot compete with other demographics of men, they should be left to die off. Either improve and become the quality of man that you need to be, or you just get left behind. Like Black women don't entertain you at all.
Right.
She was talking about how Black women consistently give their energy, their time, their bodies to men that are undeserving of them, and also the undying respect, the undying loyalty that Black women have to Black men when it's not reciprocated by the collective. That has got to stop. And
Exactly.
I always believed in that, because I feel like if you ever think about how it is in like real life, like if you always do something for somebody and you know that they always know that you'll be there, but they don't never have to do nothing for you. They can treat you like crap, they can dog you out, but still you'll always be right there like, "Oh, I'll help you. I'll do this, I'll do that for you." What that does is breed not only entitlement, but it breeds dislike and that person to take you for granted. And that's exactly what's happening to Black women right now. Because Black men, the collective Black men, know that still Black women are going to still stick around. A lot of them. And they're going to just take whatever. Like, it's so many Black women that I see here on TikTok. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm so hurt because, Taekwon played me." And then you start listening to their story, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, he didn't have a car. Oh, he didn't have a place to stay. Oh, he was cussing me out. He was doing this." Like, well, excuse me, ma'am. You had a million red flags beforehand. What are you doing? Why did you even get in that position? Like, what? Like, and I think that is a huge thing that could help Black women. Right there is that stop entertaining men that are not deserving of you at all. But yeah, like that Chat GBT thing, for sure. Like, they when she was breaking it down, like what she had said, like a lot of the things I agree with. Like, I probably would say like 90%, 95% of the things that was said, I agree with. I agree with the things that you said too. But yeah, I
Yeah.
was just like, yeah.
That's interesting that we're all going to ChatGPT to ask these questions. But yeah, I land my plane there. I think that would be very beneficial for us in our protection and our safety.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
I
Let me
piggyback
go.
off of y'all real quick before
Oh yeah, 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 sure. And then I'll go down there to Soup Simply Caramel and then
the
tea.
Thank you, Simple. You know how things can change and then you forget and then coming back around. So I did want to just piggyback off what Yaya said about the men hating us, and this is a byproduct. We are not the initial target as Black women. Black men hate themselves. They hate that they were born Black. This is evident because when they go out to other communities, it yields the same results. So it's not specifically that they hate Black women, they hate themselves, and the hate of that is a byproduct of hating Black women. So I just want to throw it out there because I know and it's a hard truth we definitely have to swallow, but we have to understand why that is. We have to, because we'll internalize it and think it's a Black woman thing, and it's not. Because again, when they go out to other communities, they yield the same, if not worse, results in other communities. So just remember, again, I tell Black women all the time, you're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with Black women, from the bougiest Black woman to the ghettoest Black woman. It is because we have the least proximity to whiteness. And in a world where white T-ness is currency, we are just automatically going to lose that way. However, whenever we show up, and you know Black women show up, we always show up and show out. So I just wanted to throw that out there because, I got to sprinkle some love on my Black women. It's not about you. It's about them hating themselves, and that's a byproduct. By proxy, they're going to hate you because you birthed them as Black men, well, Black boys who turn into Black men. I also wanted to say to the Cynthia G thing, and it's so funny because I started my journey or social media on YouTube back in like 2007, I believe. That's when YouTube didn't have restrictions. And I don't know if any of y'all been on YouTube back then. It was wild back then. Like, you could see anything on YouTube. I just want y'all to know, and a lot of people know, that Cynthia G did start her journey in Black love, and I wouldn't quite call her a pick-me at that time because she was still holding Black men responsible, but she definitely believed in the Black love theory and
Yeah,
all
she
that
was
stuff.
still holding Black men responsible because I followed her
Yeah.
back then too. She just still was like protective of Black
More
men.
pro-Black,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I don't know if, because I haven't frequented their YouTube lately, but I just want to throw out some names, and these women were doing it when Cynthia G was still making a sandwich for her man at 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, these women that I'm gonna mention makes Cynthia G look like soft as Play-Doh. They got well, Crystal and Kerosene is a bit nicer, but they have a woman called Brooklyn Blue, which I love to give my Black woman grace, but I feel like Cynthia G stole the blueprint from Brooklyn Blue, like verbatim, but that's another story. And they have another woman called Miss Archduchess. Now, if you really true to this, they have some extreme and they are radical Black feminists. Some of the things that they said, again, will make the things that Cynthia G say sound like Play-Doh. I think specifically Brooklyn Blue was ran off YouTube. They actually threatened her son who's special needs. She's from Brooklyn. That's a New York thing. Where Cynthia G gets a lot of her material from. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Those who know what I'm talking about. But if there's still stuff on YouTube and you go listen to their pages and stuff, this is like 10, 15-year-old pages. So I don't know if their videos will still be up. You're gonna hear some real stuff. That whole controversy about um ab- absorbing Black babies, that's not from Cynthia G. That came from Brooklyn Blue. So I just wanted to, oh yeah, somebody threw it out there. Pink Pill. Pink Pill is nicer. Crystalline is nicer because she's on the divestment thing, but the actual radical Black feminist like Miss Archduchess,
What's
Brooklyn
the name
Blue.
again? You said so. Brooklyn Blue, is she still on YouTube?
I don't know if her material is still on Bluetooth, excuse me, on YouTube. I know that's where I encountered her and got her, but I haven't been listening. Since this transition to TikTok, I haven't really been on YouTube
Okay.
like that.
And you said
But
what's
it's
the other one? Supervillain
Miss
Archie Duchess.
Miss Archduchess. She
Arch.
might go by another name, but her old stuff will come up. Miss Archduchess.
Okay.
ARCHDUS. I mean DUCHESS.
Okay.
So these are some women who've been on some radical. And if you want to hear a roasting, oh man, TikTok have nothing on these old school women on YouTube, and that's, those are the black women from 2000, grown 1990. Oh, not 1990s because YouTube wasn't out then, but 2000, early 2000. So
And
I just
it's
want to throw
funny.
that out there.
It's
All
funny
right,
that you
thank you.
mentioned Cynthia G because I've heard a lot of creators on here and on YouTube start to say now, like, Cynthia G was right. So now I need to go and see what she's about because even the men are saying Cynthia G has been right this whole time. And I'm like, oh, wow, what has she said that has been
Yeah.
right? But
And you know what? I call it the Little Kim, Nicki Minaj effect, and I'm a die-hard Barb. But it's like, uh, Little Kim did it first, but Nicki made it more popular. That's how I look at it. Like Archduchess and Brooklyn Blue said it first. They actually laid the blueprint, but Cynthia G making it more popular because she's modern, and with social media, everything is more outspread.
All right, all right. Let me go down here to thanks for letting me know the ladies. I'll check them out. Go ahead, Simply Carmel.
Hey y'all, good morning.
Hey.
Hey, I I didn't kind of I think I missed like some of the stuff that y'all were talking about. I did hear a little bit of like Cynthia G. I'm not really familiar with the other content creators. I'm not even really familiar with Cynthia G actually. I just literally started cuz she's been back on YouTube, at least from what I was hearing from people. I think she kind of went ghost and then came back. So
Oh no,
I was
she
like,
just on Patreon. And
oh,
then, but yeah, because somebody hated on her page on
right.
YouTube, and then she went to Patreon, and now she uploads every now and again on YouTube
On
still.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm sorry if I sound kind of tired, y'all. I just actually just got off at 6, and I ended up on like crazy, 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 crazy. I think I was like checking TikTok, girl, because like I told you, I've been checking TikTok since I don't get notifications. I got to keep kind of stalking TikTok to see when you're live. And girl, I actually ended up on TikTok, and I actually ended up on somebody's live. It was this other girl, and just to kind of touch on that bottom one, black women giving each other, oh no, sorry, not the bottom one, the top one, black women who defend no, which one was I just reading? Was it about the black femicide? No, black, yes, number 3. Just to kind of touch on that, because it's crazy, because I just left from a damn live that wasn't even trying to be on, but I ended up on there, and the talking points were kind of gearing me in. And child, it was a lot of it was some BOK men and some BOK women initially, right? And it was pretty much the same stuff, girl. Just the whole BLK men trying to act like BMs are bashing like it's a gender war when it's not a damn gender war. I have not came across any BLK women who are quote unquote bashing BLK men. We're only talking about our grievances. I've only came across BLK women talking about our grievances, but I'm starting to realize is that we don't get heard, because it's like for them, they see us as just trying to play victim, right? And I've been starting to notice like other races of women. Like I had came across like a YT woman who was speaking. She made a post on TikTok talking about, she, just speaking out, talking about the BOK men bashing us, and why, why is that, and da 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 da. And it's like literally it was no smoke for her. But if it was a BLK woman that made that same post, anytime we make that same post, you see nothing but BLK men in the comments, trying to make it seem like no, like we're just playing the victims. And literally, that's what ended up happening on this damn live that I actually went on, ended up on. And then it was like the pickmes that was getting on there defending the BLK men. And child, why the hell that live ended up with a whole Latino white passing woman? who actually came up on that damn panel, child. I was completely baffled. And she started inserting herself in the conversation and talking about, oh, well, the reason why, BLK women are not, being wifed up and married is because of how we act and da 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 da. And I was like, so you mean to tell me that the BLK men can't hold them accountable, and then we got the pickmes who not making it no better, and then we have the damn people from the other races, that's coming in feeling so comfortable to just speak on our issues, and it's like, at this point, I'm so sorry, but I'm like really, I like lost hope. I like losing hope in our community, because what the heck is really going on? Like, this is so crazy. Like, the lack of protection. It's like, for us, for BLK women, we already got to deal with. We got to deal with the sexism, the racism, the ageism, it's like, like, what the heck? And then, like, trying to build the community of the BLK women. It's like, it's definitely going to be centuries and centuries and centuries from now, before, I don't know. Like, I see the small steps, but it's like, when I come across stuff like that, it's like, it's really disheartening. It's like, we already got to deal with the disrespect and stuff within our own community, and then it's like the other race, just to feel comfortable. Like, we're not going in on 8 spaces. I don't be seeing BLK women going into these Mexican, spaces, YT spaces, going in there and trying to hold anybody accountable for anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, like,
Yeah.
it's just really just getting out of hand.
Yeah, it's real weird. I'll tell you, I think it was yesterday. This white tea woman who she said she was Greek, she came
I
in.
said white passing Latino. Sorry, I'm replying in the comments.
Oh no,
But I did say
I
white
figured I knew
passing.
what you meant. You meant just a white tea Hispanic, a white tea Latino.
Yeah, and I could have sworn
Yeah,
I said
I
that.
don't know for the life of me them, and they are so anti-black, and but for some reason they feel like they have a pass to insert themselves in black business.
Right.
But I think that's because so many black people let them. But I never do.
Mm-hmm.
I never do. I
Exactly.
never do.
Right.
And I never even let white tea women come in and say nothing, or white tea men. But I don't. But I'm different because I don't
Right.
talk to them about nothing, because we don't, like you just said, we don't come into their spaces and tell them nothing about what they're doing. Like, when they're having their discussions about how they don't wash their legs in the shower and how they kiss their dogs in the mouth, nobody comes in there and says anything to
Exactly.
them. We just allow them to do what they trying to do. We may make some jokes about it amongst each other, but we don't do anything. And I for the life of me, I don't understand black people that allow it. When black people allow that type of thing to go on, it makes me so mad. Like, I lose
Mm-hmm.
respect for people that allow that to go on. Because why in the
Yeah.
world are you letting them do anything like that to speak on black women? I don't.
Exactly.
I make sure I click on people profile pictures and be like,
Yeah.
excuse me, do you think you should be having this conversation?
Yep. Yep. And it's crazy because, when I was because she when she came on the panel, she initially addressed me about something I was talking about on there, because I was, just talking about how, like, because of course, when you're a BLK woman, you come into these spaces and you're all about sisterhood and trying to promote, a community where, BLK women could stick up for each other, and it's like, oh well, every time it's almost like like BLK lives matter, and then they come in and say, no, all lives matter. It was like one of those type of situations, and she just was just like, oh, well, no, women should come together, not just BLK women. I'm just like, no, like, this, you're entering a BLK space. You're the only YT passing. And then she went on to talk about, well, she's Mexican, she's from the hood, she grew up from the hood, and then start trying to make those connections,
See, that's
what
what
I'm
they
saying,
do.
to talking about, oh, well, since you from the hood and you from the ghetto, somehow you can identify with us. And I'm just like, how the heck is nobody seeing how disrespectful this is, Like,
Especially because not all black people are from the ghetto or the hood.
exactly. And I just was completely baffled. But it's crazy because literally 5 seconds later, the whole panel switched on her, because they noticed how she started talking about oh well, because of the way BOK women act, and us being ghetto, but then she start trying to backpedal and things. So it's just, like I said, I definitely agree, the lack of the protection from the BOK men, and then the brainwashing coupled with the brainwashing of the BOK women, and just not trying to hone in on the sisterhood, or creating a sisterhood, and sticking up for each other and stuff like that. It definitely does not help at all. And yeah, I don't know, like, it's just sad just to be seen, like, you literally, it's like I come on TikTok to try to catch your lives, but then I'd be like, damn, like, I really don't be trying to get on any of these other lives, because it's so triggering. Like, literally, it's like super triggering. So but yeah, I don't really, as far as Lotto #2, I don't really it says something about the lyrics. I don't think I've heard of the song yet. And then BW's giving each other grace. Yeah, like, I've definitely been trying to practice that, on my own volition, as far as giving, like, the BOK women grace and things like that. And even it's disappointing, and disheartening, that, a lot of the stuff that I see, the BOK women just, they would literally, and what's been helping me, actually, what's been kind of helping me, I don't know if this is going to sound disingenuous or not, but what's been helping me kind of give BOK women grace is the fact that I do feel like a lot of the ignorance is due to just just being uneducated on a lot of things. There's still a lot of ignorance that's floating around, like, even down to, like, statistics. I always feel like, at least it's to be expected from, like, BOK men to not value education, statistics, probability, all that type of stuff, but to see, like, BOK women kind of hopping on the bandwagon and protecting, trying to defend the ignorance of the BOK men, and kind of just adding to the whole, just ignorance and just being super uneducated. It's just like, I kind of just learned to just contribute a lot of the stuff to that. So I feel like, for me, that's what's kind of been helping me give BOK women grace. But I definitely don't have any for the BOK men. I mean, a lot of the stuff, it's like, it don't even bother me, because it's to be expected. But I definitely want more for the BOK women, just come together, like, just like how BOK men stick together, whether if they're right or wrong. They can be abusing, doing all different type of heinous stuff, and they protect each other, they defend each other, and if they're not protecting and defending, they don't say a damn thing at all. So, I just really wish that BOK women would kind of get on board with that too, and stop being so quick to throw each other under the bus. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got to say about the prompt.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay, you guys. Yeah, I'm going to. I think I said in the comments. Guys, I got to end the live. I got to do something. But I want everybody else to get a chance to speak before I get out of here. So I'll start at the top with Yaya, and then I'll go to T, and then Supervillain. Go ahead, Yaya.
I'll just say that I would not take anything to heart with a group of women who are supposed to be at the top of the chain in the system, but then have to use a group of conquered males that they've been able to brainwash to get in your head and try to flaunt these men over you. It just shows that Black women have more power than we think we do, and that they have to use something to get back at us. And that's just it.
Absolutely, I definitely agree. Never ever pay attention to them, like, honestly, because everything they do is rooted in jealousy of Black women. Truthfully, super jealousy. And I think that every Black woman has a story about seeing, like, just out and out envy and jealousy that was directed to you as a Black woman just for existing. They're so jealous. And that's not just, how people be like, oh, don't say nobody. That's a fact. This is not like an opinion. I think any black woman, you already know the deal. Go ahead, T. Are you there, T? I wonder if she might have stepped away. I'll go to supervillain then, and then I'll come back to T.
Yes, thank you, Triggered. I just want to thank you for having this space and being the awesome rock star content creator that you are. And I just want Black women to know, if there's any message that's the most important one when we leave these spaces, is that I love being a Black woman, all types of Black women in each and every form. I just want Black women to know they are loved. Thanks, Trig.
No problem, sis. It's always good to talk to you, and I always appreciate your kind words and uplifting me. It really means a lot. Oh, and I'm gonna check out those ladies you mentioned too. And I screenshot them that you typed them in the comments. Hey T, you there, T? Let's see. I don't know. Let me see if I can send her a request to turn her mic on. Maybe see if that's it. Uh T. Maybe she stepped away. That's what I feel like she probably did. So I'll just say, hey, if you're a black woman, you're listening to this, I just want you to know that you are, powerful. And I think that a lot of times, I say this all the time, that people don't want us to realize our power. And I mean literally everybody else, every demographic. And sometimes black women don't want you to realize your power either, because once you tap into your power, then you make them feel embarrassed for why the fact that they haven't tapped into theirs, or they're allowing their power to be, sapped up, or utilized by somebody else. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'm sending y'all nothing but love, light, and positivity. And I will see y'all another time. And thanks for coming up, all you ladies, every one of y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. And y'all mean a lot to me. And I appreciate your voices. And thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate y'all so much. T, super villain, Special K, Simply Caramel, Yaya. I think that was everybody that came up, Caramel Mermaid, just all of you ladies. I really appreciate y'all so much. And I appreciate y'all checking in and listening when y'all don't have to. Y'all didn't have to, Just want y'all to know that. All right, I'll see y'all later.